welcome back to my kitchen for another recipe. Today we're going to be making everyone's favorite Chinese takeout, and if you couldn't guess by this ingredient, it's orange chicken. The chicken is super crispy on the outside and then it's glazed in that delicious citrusy sweet and savory sauce. So we can basically break down this recipe into 3 different parts. Number 1 is preparing our chicken as well as our wet and dry batter. Number 2 is my favorite part, which is making our orange sauce. And finally, our 3rd part is going to be breading the chicken, frying it, glazing it, and enjoying it. So let's get started on our chicken. This recipe calls for 1.5 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken thighs, but of course you can replace it with chicken breast. You're just going to cut the chicken into small individual pieces about the size that you would get when you order takeout. Once the chicken is all sliced, we're going to work on our wet and dry batter. For the wet, we're just going to add 2 eggs and a crack of salt and black pepper. Whisk that all together and set it aside. For the dry batter, you'll need all-purpose flour, cornstarch, salt, and black pepper. Part 1 is done, and now it's time to move on to part 2, which is actually my favorite step because we get to make some freshly squeezed orange juice. Of course, if you want to just buy some oranges from the store and use that in this sauce recipe, that's perfectly fine too, but I just like to buy some navel oranges, that way it just has a more fresh, bright, vibrant taste. Here's everything that you will need: soy sauce, orange juice, rice vinegar, brown sugar, sesame oil, fresh garlic, fresh ginger, red pepper flakes, water, and cornstarch. To a saucepan over medium-high heat, we're going to add our soy sauce, orange juice, rice vinegar, brown sugar, sesame oil, minced garlic, minced ginger, and red pepper flakes. Bring to a simmer until you start seeing small bubbles forming. To thicken up our orange sauce, we're going to make a cornstarch slurry, which is just 1/4 cup of water combined with 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. Now that it's starting to simmer, we're going to add in our cornstarch slurry. Once you add the cornstarch slurry, drop the heat all the way down to low and start to mix it continuously as it thickens up. Immediately when it's thick, you'll notice it's going to coat the back of your spoon, and then you can take it off the heat and transfer it to a bowl, and that's it for part 2. It's time to bread our chicken, and then we'll take it over to the fryer and dinner will almost be ready. To bread the chicken, you're going to dip a few pieces at a time, first in the wet batter. Make sure to let any excess drip off. Then transfer it to the dry and use your other clean hand to make sure that it's fully coated all around. Then shake off any excess and transfer it to a plate and repeat with the rest of the chicken. Now we're going to heat some vegetable oil in a deep frying pan to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Make sure your oil is hot enough. If it is not, the chicken is going to soak up too much oil and it's not going to turn out crispy. Once the oil is heated properly, drop the breaded chicken in batches, making sure it's not overcrowded. Fry in 2 batches. Make sure to move it around, that way it's golden on all sides, and it's going to take about 4 to 5 minutes. Once it's golden, crispy, and cooked in the center, take it out of the oil and drain on a paper towel. All that's left to do is toss it in the orange sauce. Now our last step is to enjoy. The chicken turned out super crispy and the sauce has that perfect balance of sweet and savory. I like to enjoy it with some jasmine rice, and sometimes I add some steamed broccoli, and then I also finish it off with some sesame seeds and sliced green onion. Super excited for you guys to try it out, and of course, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss when I upload a new recipe. On that note, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!